and with so many events and obligations during the holidays, family gatherings, shopping, social outings, of course, it's very important to learn how to manage your mental health. So Dr. Christine Caulfield is back from LSF Health Systems to tell us how we can deal with that in a healthy way. So thank you so much for joining us again. Great to see you.
You too.
So I think a lot of the times when we have so much on our plate, we have to prioritize, right?
Indeed.
So how can we begin to prioritize our time to avoid feeling overwhelmed?
Well, it's very important, as you say, prioritize is key. You have to chunk down the tasks that you find overwhelming,
right,
in smaller bits so that they feel more manageable. Also, many people feel like they have to have the perfect holiday,
right,
the perfect
Don't
meal.
we all?
Exactly. Everybody's happy. You know, those kinds of really unrealistic thoughts. So we must pull ourselves away from that unrealistic focus and really focus on being present and authentic during the holiday season.
Yeah, we don't need to put all that pressure on ourselves.
No,
nothing
it's
is
too
perfect.
much.
Nobody is perfect, and we just need to be okay with that, right? So how do unrealistic expectations about having a perfect holiday contribute to those feelings of stress and anxiety, and what can we do to, you know, those expectations? I know it's easier said than done, right? Because we really do want it to be perfect, but are there any tools or tips that you can help us to where we maybe just don't care as much if it goes off without a hitch?
Exactly. Well, one of my suggestions is to limit social media, because people always are posting perfect moments, if you will, but you don't see the behind the scenes stress and aggravation that led to that perhaps snapshot of a perfect moment. So limit your social media time, set expectations for yourself that are realistic. Embrace imperfection. If things don't go as you'd hope, embrace that. Make humor of it.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun. It's just, you got to laugh about it, right?
Absolutely. Have to laugh about it and let it go.
Right. Yeah, just like Elsa says, right, in Frozen.
That's right. Let it go.
On the other side of things, of course, many people experience FOMO during the holidays, and I think social media also contributes to that, right? We see all the fun that everyone's having.
Most definitely.
So how can someone manage those feelings of missing out when not letting it affect their mental health, I should say?
Yes. So again, limit the social media, because when you're watching and looking through your social media and see everybody posting, you know, holiday times, family times, friends, etc., you might say, well, gee, I wasn't invited, or oh my gosh, they're going to 10 parties this season. You know, you've got to let it go.
Yeah.
You have to focus on what your priorities are, what's meaningful to you, and make those memories for yourself, and not compare yourself to others, because it's usually an illusion. So we need to focus on making ourselves happy with what our priorities are and what's meaningful to us, not comparing ourselves to others.
And I know we hear this all the time, and like I said, it is easier said than done, but it's good to just keep those reminders, right? So I love that you come on Mondays to help us out with that, just to remind us to just breathe.
Yes.
We'll get through it.
Absolutely.
And don't compare yourself.
That's
all right.
right.
So for first responders, because I know you do a lot with them as well, a lot of them on duty during the holidays, right? And so how can they cope with the feelings of isolation during these social events? Because I'm sure they also feel the FOMO and they get sad about it.
They do. They really do. And those are realistic. You need to validate those feelings. If your family members or friends of first responders and they're talking about feeling isolated and left out of social gatherings and so on. That's very real. Also, you need to help them focus on new traditions. So for example, you know, maybe they're not home for Christmas Day, but perhaps the family and friends can gather at a different time, a different day, and make a new tradition for the first responder. Also, make sure that your first responders feel supported. Pull them into as many activities as you can during the season, and also if they're looking like they're really struggling, encourage them to reach out for help, extra support during this stressful time.
And you are a resource for that.
We really are. At LSF Health Systems, we have a first responder program. All the first responder or family member needs to do is call 211, identify as a first responder or family member, and they will be connected to a peer specialist, a first responder that has walked a mile in their shoes and
that makes a big
knows
difference.
what they're going through.
Yep.
Exactly. And that first responder peer specialist will walk them through the journey of support and healing.
That's wonderful. If they're not a first responder, how should they get in touch?
Call us at our Access to Care line, 1-877-229-9098. That's for everyone, 24/7. And if you're struggling at 3 in the morning, give us a call. Our clinical team will help.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much. And I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and continue to have a great holiday season. Really appreciate everything you do for our community. And we'll be right back.